Hi, everybody. Happy Star Wars Day. Happy May the 4th. Me and little Wookie are here to finish off the day and do our toy of the day. It's a little later than normal. Well, it's probably earlier than some of our videos. And he's falling asleep again because it's past his bedtime. But he's here in his little Wookie costume, ready to talk Star Wars. So tonight, I was going to do one figure because Hasbro was nice enough to send over Mace Windu and Qui-Gon. And we've already done Qui-Gon in a previous video. And we hadn't gotten to the Mace Windu that we bought. So we decided to break that out and talk a little bit about what we're going to do with our extra one, because I think there is a decent amount of value in having that extra one. The Best Buy figures are great for those in-the-box collectors. But they also have some value for other things. So welcome to Kastor's Korner.com. I'm your host, Khalil. This is our mascot, Jackson. He is ready for bed, as you can tell. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. And hi, you want to go lay down so I can finish the video? We are at Kastor's Corner and the Cornercast podcast on Apple Podcasts. So I'm going to put the little Wookiee down while the Ewok here talks about the toys, the Jedi. And so tonight's video is about the Jedi. And one of the things that really, really liked about the line is that the Black Series figures over the years have gotten us a lot of different Jedi figures. And it's only been over the last few years that we've gotten the real hand heads that really bring out the actors' likenesses. The original versions of Obi-Wan that came out were vastly different than the ones that have come out over the last few years. And I really wasn't going to get them until I saw them in the stores. And the likeness to Ewan McGregor is just, it's stunning. There are close-up pictures on Castor'sCorner.com where you can take a better look at these characters or these figures. And, you know, I was bored in a Target one day and they were on the shelf. And so I picked up this Padawan or Young Jedi episode 1 Obi-Wan. And then last summer, these went in stock from the Attack of the Clones, and the likeness of Ewan McGregor was just too perfect to not pick up. So I picked up him, and even though I said I wasn't going to do any Anakins, I picked up an Anakin. So last summer, these two really stood out, just really capturing the look and the feel of the movie characters. And so the likeness to them, again, close-up shots of the heads are on Castor'sCorner.com right now. The link's down in the description. And so, you know, I picked up Obi-Wan from episode 1, and then I picked Padme from episode 2. And then I said, well, I've got Padme, and I've got a battle droid, so I need Obi-Wan, and I should get Anakin. And it's just all downhill from there, right? Because it's like, well, if I've got these, and I wasn't going to do any prequel guys, but if I picked up this, then I need to get this. And this is really why I picked up this one, is because I needed this pairing. And then it was just all downhill from there, because it's like, how cool are Jedi in their robes? So over the summer, I picked up Kit Fisto and Plo Koon, whose hood and cape, like his robes, actually are probably my favorite Jedi robes that they've made so far. So again, really cool designs, really cool kind of weird aliens. We get a lot of Leia and Luke and Rey and Finn. And, you know, we get all the big heavy hitters. It's always fun to get those secondary characters, especially when they look kind of weird. And Kit Fisto with all his tentacles, he looks like something out of Men in Black 1. And then Plo Koon with the rebreather and the different kind of hands, the different lightsabers and colors is a great addition. The detailing on the robes, and really for those people that customize these general robes or tunics and pants and stuff, allow you to customize and really make any Jedi you want within the universe, as long as you can match the hands and the heads. So it gives you a lot of options, which I think is great. But the main focus, which was supposed to be the main focus for tonight, is the baddest Jedi, the only Jedi to get his own colored lightsaber, Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Mace Windu himself. I picked up this one a few years ago, and I really liked. This is probably the one time I'm digging into the archives that that stuff that wasn't in the room, but it was thanks to Hasbro sending over the box and reminding me why. And I don't know if I can get to the packaging right now, but these 50th anniversary packaging for Lucasfilm. And so I dug out my old Mace Windu to take a look at him. Left the other one in the package for now. But what I'm going to do is eventually what's nice about it is for this figure is you can take that off. You can take the lightsaber out. You can take the robes off, big Jedi robes. And for whatever you need them for, they're interchangeable. So he looks really good like this. The likeness to Sam Jackson is just stunning. They've done a great job of Marvel Legends, but this might actually be a better Sam Jackson figure than Marvel Legends. Sorry, guys. They really nailed it. Even though yours for Captain Marvel was pretty good, this one is just stunning. And so what's nice is people don't have robes. So my Qui-Gon does not have robes. And now with my extra Mace Windu, at some point when I open him up and break him out of the packaging, I can put the robes on Qui-Gon. And so now he's got the darker robes. What I do have to say is Plo Koon, his robe falls, the hoodie part, the hood part really falls nicely and folds into the robes and looks really, really well designed. This robe, however, is always just popping up. I've had to kind of tuck it under and have it sit like that. I might have to pin it actually to have it sit and look a little more natural. It is a little bit big on them, and it doesn't sit quite right. I think it's just because it hasn't been worked really. It hasn't been used. And I think, a lot of hoodies are like that where they kind of, when they flip over your head, they just don't feel right until you've washed them a few times and done that. So this might need a little weathering, to be honest with you. But it gives you the option for robes for Qui-Gon, even though Anakin doesn't have robes, but Obi-Wan doesn't have robes either. So we need a lot more of these. But I was surprised that Plo Koon came with his robes, but Fisto did not. So that gives you the option. I think one of the magic things about, there's a lot of negative parts of the prequels. Let's just be honest. From the storytelling to the visual design, they didn't always hit the mark. And so what they did do, though, was expand the mythology of the Jedi within movie canon. And I think that I think Kit Fisto looks pretty good with his robes on. Right there. What they did do was expand the depth of the Jedi and the Jedi Order. Those of us that grew up in the 80s and 70s and 80s, we knew one Jedi. It was Luke Skywalker. We knew one Sith. It was Darth Vader. We didn't know anything else. And so I think the magic for me of A Phantom Menace was seeing new characters be Jedi up on the big screen. And I know there were books and there were comics that kind of expanded that world. But as somebody that loves movies and loves visual storytelling, having them up on the big screen, seeing them in their robes and seeing all the really cool things that they can do, and then having great actors like this take on the part and become part of Star Wars, it really brought home the magic that was the Jedi Order. I always wanted to be, I ran around the house with wrapping paper tubes, colored them in, had lightsabers as a kid, and really loved the idea of Luke Skywalker and being a Jedi. So to grow up and they get to play with these things between, the lightsaber there, and you can see the little lightsaber in the corner there, and have toys that look like the actors up on the screen. And then sometimes when we get the retro line and some of the other, other lines, it's been a really magical thing for these things to become real. And like, I was having a conversation tonight, and somebody said, Disney parks are a little bit not manufactured, right? They're not real. Like the experiences, they're like, you're not really on a pirate ship. You're not really in the jungle on the Jungle Cruise. But for me, I can't wait for the day I can go to Galaxy's Edge and the new Marvel section, the Avengers section, because being able to walk under the Millennium Falcon or get on the bridge of the Millennium Falcon, or go into Stark Industries, those things, even though they're manufactured, really bring those things into the real world. And I never thought in 1983, when I saw Jedi up on the big screen, that I would be able to stand on the bridge or the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and buy a lightsaber. Yeah, the new lightsabers, I think they're real, that you push the button and they light up and they actually go up. I never thought as like a 5 or 6 year old that those things would be real. So I am thrilled to be working on the stuff that I work on. It took a lot of hard work and perseverance to get here. And toys like this really just capture the magic, in that moment. The first time I saw him light up the purple lightsaber, and fight on Geonosis, and seeing all the other Jedis all light up and run around that big battlefield. And then to see, Obi-Wan change from a Padawan to a Jedi to the person that we're going to see in the TV show. All of those things really just embody the magic of Star Wars. And so it was really hard for me to sit here and just talk about just one figure tonight, because May the 4th is all about that magic. I forgot to say, the only drawback for this figure, I will put this in here, is that he does not have any place on his belt to keep his saber. But I mean, it's Sam Jackson. Like, he can just will it into existence, I'm sure. So there's a look at the Jedi that I bought over the last year from, episode 2, Obi-Wan and Anakin, Kit Fisto and Plo Koon, Qui-Gon, which we've already reviewed in depth, and now Mace Windu. So we've taken a look at all the Jedi from the prequels that I own, and look forward to seeing more figures from the Black Series. We put all the reveals from today on our Instagram page. We've got more Star Wars reviews to come up. We've got the vintage collection from Walmart coming up later in the week. We've got troopers and troop builders and army builders to talk about throughout the week. And we've got some Amazon exclusives to talk about too. So we're really excited to get through all that stuff. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope that you had a really good May the 4th. Hopefully, Revenge of the 5th tomorrow is positive for those of you that want to order new things. Thank you guys for joining us. Go to castorscorner.com for a full gallery of these Jedi here, as well as really good close-ups and poses with Sam Jackson here, Mace Windu. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out the Cornercast podcast. Last week's podcast with Lisa Gillerin, talking Star Wars and conventions and all things of working, in this world of pop culture, as well as this week's episode with Vincent from Vasco Toys, talking about dioramas, and turning these things into pieces of art that you can display right next to art in your living room. So go check that out on the Cornercast podcast on Apple Podcasts. And remember to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And that's really the magic and the fun of this journey, is that I'm not just here to this is articulated here and this has this feeling here, but it also allows me to share this journey and make this connection with you out there, because I'm sure that a lot of you feel the same way about this stuff. So you're not alone. You've got people that believe in you and believe like you and enjoy the same things you do. So thank you guys for joining us. Have a good night. May the 4th be with you, and we'll see you tomorrow with some more Star Wars stuff on Star Wars Week here on castorscorner.com.